Dear friends, welcome back to Data Analytics Talks. Let us continue with our Informatica learning series. The last session, I've shown you how to build a simple ETL without any transformation. But in this video, I would like to take you to a sample with a little bit of transformation. So you already know that what is ETL. We have the extracted from sources. Then we have the T for transform. We do a little bit of transformation of the extracted data. And we have L, load. We are loading into an analytical data store. So ETL, extract, transform, load. So in this example, we have person's data. We have a source from Excel or CSV file. That CSV file, we have information about a person. A person is a business entity and person's type, first name, middle name, last name, then email, promotion. So basically these are the fields are available within the CSV file. At the same time, we have a database with a person's table, and you have the fields called business entity, then person's type, then full name, and email, promotion. And there is no data here. So our request is to populate data from the CSV file into the table, which is an Oracle database table. But what is the condition? You should combine first name, middle name, last name into full name and load into the destination. So we have to extract data from the CSV file, that is a source. Then we have to upload this data into a database table. But we also need to do a little bit of transformation by combining first name, middle name, last name into a full name. So how can we do that in an Informatica Power Center tool? That is the problem we are going to solve. So I'm going to show you, this is the CSV file. This is a comma delimited file. We have a number of persons in this CSV file. Okay, so we will have to upload this into our table. So we have 1704 persons information in this CSV file. Okay, so I would like to close this CSV file. So let me go to Power Center. So we have created a new folder. Okay, this Informatica ETL. Let me open this. So we don't have any configuration done for source, target, or mappings. So as I shown you last time, the first thing we are going to set the sources. Okay, and then we have to configure the destination. The last time it was Oracle database for the source and destination, but this time there is a difference. The source will be loaded from a file, CSV file. Of course, the target will be Oracle database itself, and we will do the mapping. Okay, let me first go to the sources. Okay, this time I am going to load from file. Let's select import from file. Okay, so I will have to go to the downloads. You don't see any file here, but okay, because the default file type is .dat. But let me make it to all files. So I will select person.csv. Let me choose the file. Yeah, it is a delimited file. What's the meaning of delimited file? Is a characters such as commas or tabs separated each field. Now this is a CSV file, of course. This is delimited by commas, right? And there is a question here, import field names from the first line. So by default, the start row is 1. But if I select import field name from the first line, then the data will be loaded from the second row of the file. Okay, so we don't see the headers here because I have selected import field names from the first line. So the first name will be considered as the fields. Okay, so I click on next. So we have, by default, it is chosen as comma. So if you have a tab delimiter, you can select tab, you can semicolon delimiter, select semicolon, space, or others. So whatever you want, you can choose that and mention the delimiter. So you can also text qualifier, whether say no quotes or single quotes or double quotes, but I don't have any. It's a double quotes, of course. Then let me just click next. Here we can see the fields, business, then person type. So I think there is a special character code into the business field. I will just remove that. So automatically the business entity ID. Okay. Then we have the type, person type, first name, middle name, last name, and email promotion. So these are the fields available in the CSV file. Okay. So let's leave it as it is. Okay, I will finish this. So you can see that my source is loaded into the Informatica ETL folder. So it shows it is a flat file and CSV file. Then coming to the target. So we have the target designer. I need to choose the target. Okay, let me import from the table. So we have the username as HR and owner name also HR. Then let me give the password. Let me connect this. I hope you are familiar now with this interface. So we have the HR, we have the tables. So I will be choosing persons table as a target. Let me click OK. So we have the persons table as a target. We have only the business entity ID. Then we have person type, full name, then email promotion. So unlike the source, we have only 4 fields, okay, in the target. So this is directly connected to the Oracle database. This is from flat file. So now let's go and do the mapping. So how are you going to do the mapping? Okay, let me go to the mapping designer. First of all, we have to drag our source. Let's give us M persons. This is the mapping. So this is the persons source data set. Yeah, we have, as we already know that in the source we have more columns than the destination. But don't worry, we will try to do some transformation. So this is a source. And let me also pull the target. Yes, this is the target. I will reduce the size so we have more space. Okay, so how do you look like this? This is the target, this is the source. And what else we need? So in the mapping, we will have a transformation, right? So we have many transformation. So we have the expression transformation, we have the filter transformation, we have the aggregator transformation, and we have the lookup transformation, and sequence generator transformation, and also stored procedure transformation. And there are many. We can also do custom transformation, joiner transformation, then normalizer transformation, the triangle transformation. Okay, so these are the router transformation also find. Then sorter transformation, then transaction control transformation, then source qualifier transformation, XML source qualifier transformation, then application source qualifier transformation. There are many transformations. Okay, so we will try to do one or two more in the next sessions. Okay, but I think the idea is very important. Getting the idea is very important, and if you can do that in one or two sessions, I think that is well and good. So let me take the expression transformation. I put an expression transformation here. So we don't have any connectivity. So what we need to do is we will have to go and try all the source column into that. So now we have populated or connected to the expression transformation. Yesterday I mentioned this is the mediator between the source and the destination. So we can also double click on it and we can see some more feature of this transformation. So of course there is a transformation. It is an expression transformation. We can of course rename this transformation according to the naming conventions. So if I want to rename it, okay, you can say we can see expression then persons. Okay, just name. Then we can also make it reusable. Okay, then let's go to the port. It is very important to understand port. So what's a port? We have the business entity ID. This is part of the source. We have the person type. That's another field from the source. We have the first name. We have the middle name. We have the last name. And we have the email promotion. So basically we have input port and output port, right? So we don't have first name in our destination. We have only full name, right? We don't have middle name in our destination. We don't have last name in our destination. So what we'll do? So that means these are all input, but we don't have output for first name. We don't have output for middle name. We don't have output for last name, right? Okay. So what we need? So we can have add a new port. We can add a new port. Okay. We can delete a port. We can copy a port. We can paste a port. Then this is the changing the up port up or down. So I will need to create a new port and we can change the name as, we can say it's a port, like it's output port, right? So we will say full name, but it is not part of our source. That means it won't come from the source, but it's only coming from it will go out. That means it has output port. Okay, so we need to create or combine first name, middle name, last name in the expression. Okay, when you have chosen the output, you can see that the expression field is enabled. So what we will do? So we have a place to build our formulas. So what we can do? We can use either the concatenate function or you can even use pipe symbol. So let's go to the port. So we can say first name, then we can say pipe symbol, then we can add a space, then again we can add a pipe symbol, then we can add a middle name, add a pipe symbol, we can add a space, pipe symbol, we can add last name. Okay, so we have a space here, we have space here. Okay, so we can click OK. Okay, maybe we can also click on the validate button. So this expression parsed successfully. Click OK. Then let's click OK. So we have made an expression, right? We have made an expression now. I will remove the default value. Okay. I will just click OK, apply. So here we have finished our transformation. So we have a business entity. Let me map business entity. Let me map the person type. Then we have, you can see there is no output port for any of these first name, middle name, last name, but we have the full name. So let me map this full name. Then email promotion. Let me make it as email promotion. Here we have done the source, the transmission, and the target. All done. Let's save this. So mapping person is valid. Okay, once you save it, you can see whether the mapping is valid or not. So now we are going to create the workflow. Okay, so we have the mapping ready, right? So let's go to the workflow. Like we have the workflow manager. The workflow manager. Okay, let me close this. We have to click on the workflow. Okay, so we have to go to the workflow designer. So what are we going to do? We are going to create a workflow. Okay, this is the workflow. Say workflow persons. Okay, not going to change anything. Click OK. So start. Now we need to create a session, right? So let's go to a task. Need to create a task. So it's a session basically. So let's also say session persons. Okay, let's create. So we have a persons mapping. Okay, we have created another mapping, but that is not part of this project, so you won't see that. So if you have another mapping part of this project, then of course you will be seeing that also. Let me click OK. Then we can say done. So now we have person session and we have a workflow. So we need to link the start with our session. So how do you do that linking? Now we have created a new workflow and also assign the session. So let us go and save. So it is valid, right? It is saved and valid. So we need to double click on the sessions. So we have a pop-up dialog. So we can configure like the input file name, then the data sources, target, everything. So look at the general. We have the task type. It is kind of test session. And we have the description. We have the mapping name. And if you go to the properties, you can see the general options and session log file name. What's the name of the file? And again, it is saying like some variables. And we will see what is variable in another session. Then we can source connection values, target connection values. There are many properties that we can manipulate and manage. Then we have the configuration objects. It has good advanced and log options and error handling, what to do, what happens when error. Then we have the partitioning options. Okay, it's disabled. So I spent some time to understanding the properties of session. So mapping comes here. So mapping, we have a source, we have a destination, and then let's see the start page, connections. Then we have the memory, then we have the file directories, Okay, so we can here we are seeing like the source file type is direct. Source file directory, it is used as a variable, but we will change this as a direct folder path. And then let me see, I will go here. I have selected the person's CSV. So look at various properties. We have the file reader. It is a file reader. It is because it's a file. And if you look at the person, you will see it is a relational writer because it is a Oracle database. It's a table. Okay, but when it comes to the flat file, this is a file reader, and we can see the tracing level is normal, and there are multiple levels, verbose, then verbose data. We will just for normal. File is file and optimized throughput direct, and actually we can change the path of the path. Okay, we have this file in this location. I have this file this location. Okay, so we don't have any changes. So here you can just set the file properties. Okay, so we will continue. We have the person, so everything by default taken from the database. Then we have an expression. Okay, let's click on apply. Let's click on OK. So we have set the file path also. Now it's directly given the file path. Now let me save this. Let's see if there is any issues. It's still valid. So we need to open our monitor, workflow monitor. Okay, let's click OK. No, so nothing has happened. So let me put it minimize. Then we need to run the workflow. Let me, before that I will go to the database. The persons, we don't have any data, right? They are empty. Okay, there is no data. Okay, let's run our job, and let me start workflow. Let me go to the monitor. So it is running. It is succeeded. Both are succeeded. So if I look at this person, okay, what we see, how do we see the logs? Okay, let's come back, and we can see the logs. So the source success rows is 1000. Target success rows 1000, right? So we have moved 1000 records from the flat file into our table. Okay, in order to confirm that, let's go to the database. Let's actually refresh it. See, we can see data is populated in the database, and you are seeing like in the full name David M. Bradley, and in the CSV file I shown you like it was first name, middle name, and last name. So this is a kind of transformation that we have applied into this system. Okay, so I hope now you understand what is the transformation that we have applied here. So we have a source. The source data came from flat file, and we have destination as Oracle database, and we have made a transformation by combining first name, middle name, last name into a full name using expression. So in order to see, you can see the port. We have created a additional port for full name. Then we have added expression. So we can also create a variable port. A variable port will work as a variable. Okay, so we can hold data result temporarily into variable port, and we can assign that variable port into your output port. So we don't need to apply the formula here. Instead of that, we can apply a variable. We can directly refer the variable port into your expression. Okay, So variable port will have the ability to, because if we say a menu field, if I choose this, if I remove this, I will give this. See, now it is a variable port, and you will have the ability to add your formulas here. Okay, so for example, I can just add a port, like again the same formula. I can apply the same formula. I can say middle name. I can say the last name. Okay. So we can evaluate. Okay. So click OK. So we have a variable port here. Maybe I should also change the name to variable underscore full name. Okay. So now come here. So I remove this one. Even I can actually comment this. Then in the last line, I can add the variable port. Okay, I can go to variable port. Simply add the variable full name. Okay, that's it. So you will have the variable port. We don't have any formula here, but we are referring to the variable. Okay, that's simply. So that's how the variable port is working. So if I want to come back to our database, okay, I can truncate it. Okay, we'll truncate this, or truncated. So there is no data, right? Still person stable is there. I don't have data. So now I go back. I truncate it. I can save this. Okay, let me go to the workflow manager. Okay, let me go to the workflow manager. Okay, so I will have to run it again, right? So let me just save this. We don't have to change anything. Everything is fine, right? So let me just start workflow. Okay, let me go to the manager. So it's succeeded, right? So again, if you look at this, this is 1000 loaded, right? So let me go back to the database again. See, now again the full name is come, because so we have a demonstrated variable port also in this case. Okay, so hope you understand it. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope this is helping you to understand the transformation and getting more familiar with the Informatica Power Center interfaces.